In this video we are looking at what is Google Bard and how does it work. For that we go to the website bard.google.com and I've already put the question into the box. Now think of this, before we get into it, as literally a website which is call it WhatsApp, call it any kind of like text messaging where you send a message off and you get a big reply back again. So I'm just going to pretty much read what's on screen now and just add in a couple of pieces. So the prompt is a question, and the question was, what is Google Bard and how does it work? Now I'm actually asking the website, or even asking the piece of software, to describe itself. Now I don't believe that if you had, say, I don't know, a round football turn up in a box and you didn't know what it was with no instructions, you wouldn't actually ask the football on the floor, hey, what are you and what do you do? You wouldn't get an answer, would you? But with this you do. So assuming nobody has ever seen this and you've stumbled across this video somewhere on YouTube or amongst my other videos or a search, then Google Bard is a conversational AI chatbot developed by Google AI. So what that basically means is you put text and questions in here, and the more creative you can be, the better the answers that come back. So it is based on the Lambda family of large language models, and later called Parman LLM. Now, Bard can be used to generate text, translate languages, write different kinds of creative content, and answer your questions in an informative way. It's still under development, therefore it's quite new, very new, but it has learned to perform many kinds of tasks, including following your instructions and completing your requests, using its knowledge to answer your questions in a comprehensive and informative way. Even, and I would say especially, if they're open-ended, challenging or strange. Generating different creative text formats of text content like poems, it's very good with poems, code, scripts, musical pieces, emails and letters. I would say, you know, look, this is the tiniest tip of the iceberg here, or the thin end of a big piece of cheese, a bit like my yellow mouse pointer. Bard works by first understanding your query or your question or your prompt. It does this by analysing the words you use and the context in which you use them. A bit like a human being would listen first, use their brain and answer later. Once it understands your query, it then searches its knowledge base for relevant information, finds the information, generates a response, hopefully informative and comprehensive. Bard is very new, it's under development. You know, yes, it is a powerful tool. It can be used for research, education, entertainment, also be used to help people with disabilities and improve communication between people. I would definitely add about, say, health, well-being, questions about mental health, self-improvement, anything like that. And I've got literally 100 or so videos planned because the list is endless with this. Here are some other examples of what it can do. Bullet point number 1, research. Bard can be used to research a variety of topics, find information on the web, in books, other sources. It can summarize information and identify patterns. Do you know what? All between about 2 to 5 seconds. In education, Bard can be used to help students learn new concepts, explain complex topics in a simple way. For an example, try the search of explain, I don't know, quantum physics as if I was a child or something like that, and provide examples to illustrate its points. You're only going to know these things if you try. Entertainment. You can generate stories, poems, other creative content, play games and answer trivia questions. Oh, I don't know how it plays games. I've never tried that, but I will do, and I will post a video. Disabilities. Bard can be used to help people with disabilities communicate and interact with the world around them. It can read text aloud. I didn't know that it could do that. I must admit I've got to try that because that's something I've done in some of these videos. Translate languages and provide other assistance. Communication. Bard can be used to improve communication between people. Goodness me, that would make the world a better place, wouldn't it? It can help people understand each other better and find a common ground. Interesting. I wonder how it would do that. This is the big deal about it, is Bard does absolutely nothing unless you ask a question or send a query in. Anyway, Bard is a powerful tool with the potential to change the way we live and work. It is still under development, it's a super new, but it is already proving to be a valuable resource for many people. I first started using Bard in, I think, March 2023. Now here's a situation which is slightly different, and I'm going to copy the bard.google.com and I'm actually going to put it in the prompt, and then I'm just going to send it. So notice there is no question there. All it is I've just sent. I'm just going to scroll down, and it's already come up that quick. Look, you have linked to the Bard website. Here is some information about Bard. Very difficult not to say Barb all the time. Anyway, Bard is a large language model. Now, if you think about millions upon millions upon millions into the trillions of documents out there on the web or in data sets, and then you are searching all of them at the same time and producing something absolutely brand new in 2 to 5 seconds. That is kind of like magic, isn't it? It's known as conversational AI. So if I ask question number 1 in the bottom here, and then it got the answer and I said, what do you mean by that? Then it would just keep going the same way as you would actually speak to a human being. But you know, we know that human beings are incredibly difficult in the animal mammals that they are to communicate with. We know that most of these things, factual topics, create stories. We covered it a couple of seconds ago. Again, still under development. Let's go into that now, shall we? Now, on the menu to the left-hand side, there is a pop-out. So the first one I'm just going to cover very quickly and then end here, and that is Reset Chat. It's pretty obvious that if you click it, then your chat session will not be saved. I'm not going to do that because I'm saving absolutely all of it. So the Bard activity is something that opens up, and I've got literally probably about 350 different things in there saved in my Google account. This is always on for me. I never delete anything, simply because as a researcher, as an educator, you know, you do something and you want to go back to it and it's not there. It's crazy, isn't it? You know, you don't like fill your fridge up with food and then, you know, make sure it auto empties within 1 hour, do you? Because it's silly. But yes, I can appreciate that some searches, you know, might be sensitive and you want to get rid of them. FAQs, for anyone else who wants to know, frequently asked questions. You know, you've got things about what it's all about. Does Bard give accurate and safe responses? And when you click any of these, they drop down. I'm not going to go through them now. You can find the URL and do it yourself. Is Bard able to explain how it works? I think it probably is, because it just did, didn't it? Why doesn't Bard know what I said in an earlier conversation? Because it's limited and it's new. Now, I would argue it does know what the search was, but yeah, I did a couple of searches from mobile earlier on today, and when I got home and I repeated them on desktop, they were just slightly different things. More or less the same idea, but the specific examples have changed. What are Google's principles for AI? You can read about that. I'm not going to go into it. Any blue is linked. Yes, please send feedback to the team about making it better. Who can use Bard? Oh, really? You've got to be 18 and over, are you? Okay, fair enough. You can have a read about that. You know, I've been over 18 for a long time. How many languages? Bard goes into available in US English, Japanese and Korean. I did not know that was there. That must be new. Who knows? You can go into country things, terms, data collected, access to conversations. Can you delete it? And do you use Bard conversations? No, you don't use them for advertising. I know that without even, you know, looking. But hey, that's a lot of misconceptions that we have. Now, going back to the FAQs, come back out of that, go back to the original one. Now, updates are very, very important, because what we have here, and I'll go from the beginning, you can see when Bard first started, and that was on the 10th of April 2023. Welcome to Bard's inaugural experiment update. Now, I'm not going to go on what these updates are because you can find it yourself. And I'm just scanning and reading a little bit on screen. Then it went into adding some other bits and bobs. Again, help with coding, adding more variety to drafts. That was in the 21st of April. Then it went into workspace accounts on the 5th of May this year. Then it went into this dim light that I'm using now. and exporting any responses to Google Docs and Gmail. Very, very useful. I use that a lot. That's really useful. And 23rd of May was more countries and languages, hence the Japanese and Korean that we just spoke about. Now, one which is very interesting as well, and they're all interesting, let's be honest, making sources more useful. You're going to see more links, more images turning up, which was, yes, images from Google searches turn up on the 23rd of May. And also, it's now, if you allow Chrome to access you, and I'm just going to do it there, look, you can say that location look is on, which implies that when I do a search, it will show me things that are, close to me. It doesn't know exactly your GPS where you are, just more or less where you are in the world and stuff. And then you have to put in some more concise location. Amazingly good for directions and local events. So in other words, location and precise location. I think that is pretty much it for this session. And of course, you do get some help, which pops up on the bottom right hand side, use barred, where can you use, that sort of stuff, how to sign in and report. Please keep reporting problems, because the team cannot get any better feedback than from real human beings. And that's pretty much where we are. And so what I think I will do is just cap off to say this video is all about what is Google Bard and how does it work. Again, it is very, very much like a football in that if you do not kick it or bounce it or mess about with it, the damn thing is going to be sitting on the floor looking at you for a very, very long time. If you literally opened a box and it was an ice hockey puck and it was this big a mass of disc like rubber sat on the floor going, what do you do? The answer is you're not going to know, are you? With this one, it is very, very much along the lines of saying things like, and I can put anyway, please say, let's just try this for fun. Please say goodbye. Never tried this one before. Let's see what happens. Let's turn it off. Fun, really. And then when I scroll down to see what it says, sure, goodbye. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you need anything else, please let me know. And you can see that you can actually boost that one up. And I'm going to give that a good response, down response. That's the one where you can share it off or you can Google it. Okay, goodbye.